Thailand says it has bombed what it described as a logistics centre near the Cambodian town of Phuket. The city is known for being a major casino hub and the biggest land crossing between the two countries. The bombings come as renewed border clashes show no sign of abating. The renewed fighting this month has killed at least 21 people in Thailand and 17 in Cambodia, while displacing around 800,000. Our Southeast Asia correspondent Jonathan Hedge reported last week from the Thai side of the border. Now he's been to see the effects of the conflict in Cambodia.
On the move again. Even here, far from the fighting, fear of Thai airstrikes has driven these families back on the road for a second time. Along the disputed border, Thai and Cambodian soldiers are still battling it out over a few forested hilltops. Unchallenged control of the skies allows Thai Air Force jets to pick targets with ease. Often casinos, the Thais say, are being used by scam syndicates and by the Cambodian army. Many schools have been evacuated in panic from real threats or just rumours. They hardly know the difference anymore. Phuon Po and his family have just arrived at a temple and are putting up a rudimentary shelter, which they've tied to their trailer. The situation is worse than before, he said. So many shells were fired, fighter jets were above us. We couldn't stay. The bombs landed so close to our house. 400,000 people have left their homes in Cambodia. Nearly as many are displaced in Thailand. The fighting has lasted longer than last time. Its impact much greater. This is the Stomatuk Bridge, a Chinese-built link to an important border crossing, but bombed last weekend by the Thai Air Force because it said it was being used to bring up reinforcements. This is no longer a limited border war. Thailand says it's determined to cripple Cambodia's capacity to fight back. The destruction of this bridge shows you just how far Thailand is willing to go. And as we were leaving, we saw a group of Chinese men and women fleeing the nearby shelling. Workers from a hydroelectric dam, officials told us. But from their clothing and the equipment they were carrying, probably scam workers. Hospitals all over Cambodia are having to make space for the wounded soldiers, some with terrible blast injuries. The government won't give casualty figures, but outnumbered and outgunned, its army is clearly paying a heavy price for this war. This man says he was hit by a shell which landed in his trench as Thai forces surged forward. Cambodia says it wants a ceasefire. But for now, Thailand insists it will fight on. Jonathan Head, BBC News, in Western Cambodia.
Well, Jonathan's returned to Bangkok now and we can speak to him live. Jonathan, great to have you on. You have covered this harrowing conflict from both sides of the border now and still it seems there's no truce in sight.
Well, there isn't, because Thailand has insisted it's got goals that are not yet completed. And if you remember, back in July, Thailand was ready to fight on. It was forced to stop then by the intervention of President Trump, who threatened to stop tariff talks. The attitude has hardened a lot in Thailand since then. The mood is more nationalistic. There's a lot of anger about the evidence they've shown that Cambodia, its forces continued to lay landmines even during the ceasefire. So Thai soldiers lost limbs. And by what they said was they believed Cambodia was simply not sincere. Now, that's the Thai view, but there's also a view in the Thai military that they're so much more powerful than Cambodia that they believe they can inflict a significant enough defeat that would give them a clear advantage. They're tussling for these disputed bits of territory along the border, and in the last couple of weeks there's no doubt that Thailand has pushed forward. Cambodia has been asking for a ceasefire pretty much from the start of this conflict. It's been pleading for international intervention. President Trump did say he'd got a ceasefire a week ago, but that didn't turn out to be the case. Thailand said no, nothing was agreed. It's still not ready to stop. Now, the diplomacy is moving slowly. There will be a meeting of ASEAN foreign ministers next week where this will be discussed. And I suspect that's the point at which Thailand will start to talk about stopping this fighting. But it's been incredibly destructive. 750,000 Cambodian migrant workers have had to come back. That's a massive loss of overseas earnings. The economy in Cambodia is really hard hit, and it's pretty hard hit in Thailand too. $5 billion worth of border trade. This is what most people regard as a relatively trivial border dispute that has escalated way beyond what anybody, I think, could have expected this year.
Yeah, and it's having a huge impact on the locals there, Jonathan. I mean, 800,000 people displaced on both sides of the border.
I mean, and for them, this is the second time this year. It's enormously disruptive. I mean, the whole border economy, there's an 800-kilometre long border. These countries are absolutely so joined at the hip, has basically frozen for the past year. I don't think we'd even calculate the knock-on effects. And remember the impact this is going to have on the reputation of ASEAN. This is by far the worst conflict between ASEAN member states in the association's history since it was founded in 1967. And the attempts by the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim have so far to stop it have not borne fruit. There's a new hard attitude, and people are going to worry now that, for the last sort of 50 years, ASEAN's managed to control the disputes between its member states very effectively and concentrate on economic growth. This border conflict may set a new precedent where people might think, well, right, we now have to rearm, we have to prepare ourselves for other disputes. It's a very, very damaging conflict. But the Thai mindset is really quite narrow. And remember, the civilian government's very weak here. It's called an election. It didn't have much authority before that. Everything in Thailand is being run by the military, and the military has very narrow, very hardline objectives.